Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we are undertaking a really high-stakes, high-tech exploration of the pharmaceutical industry's digital revolution.
What everyone is calling Pharma 4.0.
Exactly. And for so long, digital transformation just felt like a buzzword.
All theory, not a lot of real-world application.
But now, these cutting-edge technologies are actually moving from concept to implementation. And the results are, well, they're pretty profound.
And that's really our mission for this deep dive, isn't it? To get past the theory and extract the concrete nuggets of knowledge.
The statistics, the success stories, the real operational insights.
We want to understand how tools like AI, IoT, and blockchain are solving the industry's most expensive challenges.
Right, how they're improving efficiency, enhancing quality, and ultimately delivering better outcomes for patients.
We'll be tracking this transformation through three major areas: manufacturing, supply chain integrity, and finally, smart logistics.
Okay, let's unpack this immediately. Let's start right where the medicine begins. Active pharmaceutical ingredient manufacturing, or API.
Right. API manufacturing is where the therapeutic part of the medicine is actually created. It's the foundation of everything that follows.
And these are not simple processes.
Oh, not at all. They're incredibly sophisticated, demanding precision equipment, all operating under extremely stringent regulatory controls.
So what's the core challenge there?
It's this constant, almost paralyzing pressure. They have to improve efficiency and output while maintaining, a zero-tolerance policy for any kind of quality deviation.
And according to our sources, the single biggest enemy here, the thing driving AI adoption, is manufacturing downtime.
It's not just an inconvenience.
It's financially crippling. The research shows that manufacturers in this sector lose over 5% of their overall productivity to it.
Which, when you break it down, translates to an average of about 800 hours a year.
800 hours where the production line is just completely stopped.
And when you start putting dollar signs next to those hours, the urgency becomes crystal clear. A typical manufacturing enterprise might lose between $10 and $25 million a year to unplanned downtime.
And that's across the board, not even specific to pharma.
Exactly. But in a high-value, complex API facility, that cost per hour can shoot up to $260,000.
Wait. Say that again. $260,000 an hour.
An hour.
That number alone justifies pretty much any investment into solving this. It's a cascading financial effect that hits the balance sheet, impacts supply, and I'm sure raises a few regulatory red flags.
Absolutely. When you're losing that kind of money, the traditional approach to maintenance just isn't sustainable anymore.
What was that traditional approach?
You basically had two bad options. Reactive maintenance. You wait for something critical to break, then scramble to fix it, which guarantees unexpected downtime.
Or the other way.
Or scheduled preventive maintenance. You service equipment every 6 months, whether it needs it or not.
So you're causing unnecessary interruptions, or maybe even wasting the life of a perfectly good component.
Exactly. Both are inefficient.
So this is where AI-powered predictive maintenance comes in. It's the fundamental shift.
It moves maintenance from being a problem to being part of a planned schedule.
But what makes the AI version so much more capable than, say, older monitoring systems?
It's the depth of the integration and the analysis. Basic monitoring might just flag a temperature spike.
A single data point.
Right. And AI uses advanced machine learning algorithms. They're trained on terabytes of historical data to identify subtle, complex patterns that honestly no human operator could ever spot. It's looking for the precursors to a failure.
And how comprehensive is the data it's pulling in? Are we just talking about a few simple sensors?
No, it's comprehensive data fusion. The AI systems are integrating data from multiple sources all at once.
Like what?
Real-time sensor readings, vibration, temperature, pressure. Then it adds historical maintenance records, detailed failure data, even the environmental conditions inside the plant.
And this is the critical part, I think.
And, maybe most critically, the quality measurements of the actual product being made at that moment. By analyzing this whole data set, the AI doesn't just give you a warning.
And gives you a plan.
It gives you a highly specific prediction with a confidence interval and a recommended time to intervene.
Okay, this sounds like the ideal scenario. And this brings us to the return on investment. The sources point to a realistic target for a mid-sized API plant of $2 million in annual savings.
And what's interesting is that the $2 million figure, it's not aspirational. It's actually pretty conservative and very attainable.
How so?
Let's just do the math on that downtime. If a facility has the industry average 800 hours of downtime a year,
Okay.
and we use a really conservative cost, say $30,000 an hour, not the $260K figure.
Right.
That's still $24 million lost every single year.
That is an order of magnitude higher than the $2 million in savings.
Precisely. So if AI predictive maintenance can achieve just a 40% reduction in that downtime, which is well within what pilot programs have shown, that's $9.6 million in savings.
So achieving a $2 million goal is not only realistic, it suggests there's a lot more room for improvement beyond that.
A huge amount of runway. And remember, that 2 million figure is only focused on the cost of the stalled production time.
Right. It doesn't even factor in the other benefit.
It doesn't factor in extending the life of your very expensive equipment or reducing the number of costly batches you have to reject because of some inconsistency right before a machine fails.
It's a fundamental systemic upgrade.
It is. Pharma 4.0 starts right here, making sure your most valuable assets, the ones that create the biggest bottlenecks, stay online and efficient.
That sets us up perfectly for our next segment. So we've optimized production. Now we have to make sure that high-quality product is secure as it moves around the world.
And this is so important because the problem of counterfeit medicines isn't abstract. It's a severe global challenge.
A life-threatening one, especially when you're dealing with sensitive products like vaccines.
The scale of the illegal activity is just shocking. It really shows you why we need absolute supply chain integrity. Law enforcement documented 6,897 incidents in 2023 alone.
And that's not just one country.
No, that's spanning 142 countries. And these aren't just, fake vitamins. These are often life-saving treatments being replaced with chalk, poison, or just completely ineffective substances.
Which is exactly why blockchain technology has been adopted here, its core features.
A decentralized, immutable ledger.
Built-in transparency, absolute traceability. It seems like it was tailor-made for the pharmaceutical supply chain.
It is, because that supply chain, unlike almost any other, relies entirely on verification and absolute trust. And
the implementation in vaccine distribution is the perfect case study here.
it is. Blockchain creates this unalterable digital record that tracks every single touch point, from the moment the API is made, through packaging, distribution, all the way to administration.
So you can scan the package and instantly see its entire history.
And you can trust that history because it can't be changed.
So how does the IoT integration fit in here? Because a vaccine's journey is all about maintaining that cold chain.
That is the critical connection. IoT sensors are embedded in the shipping containers, sometimes even attached right to the vials themselves, and they monitor conditions like temperature.
And if something goes wrong,
If a temperature excursion happens, meaning the vaccine went outside its safe range, that sensor data immediately feeds into the blockchain ledger. And it doesn't just sit there.
it triggers a smart contract.
Exactly.
A smart contract being basically an automated digital agreement.
Right. It's pre-programmed with safety parameters. It can automatically flag those potentially compromised vial records, making them non-verifiable.
So they can't ever be released to a patient.
Mm.
The system catches the problem before it can cause any harm.
Exactly. Proactive, not reactive.
And we have some powerful, long-running case examples of this. Since 2004, one major pharma company, using these kinds of traceability tools, has prevented over 302 million counterfeit doses from reaching patients.
302 million.
Just think about the sheer volume of illicit product it represents.
It validates the investment better than any profit margin ever could. It proves the technology works at scale in a way that, old paper trails simply never could.
Now, we hear a lot of fanfare about blockchain, but what's the single biggest implementation hurdle for these companies? Is it just the cost?
It's often not the cost, but standardization and integration.
Integration with what?
With legacy systems. The pharmaceutical supply chain is incredibly complex. You have hundreds of smaller distributors, logistics providers, and they all have their own aging IT infrastructures.
So for blockchain to work, everyone has to be on the same page.
Everyone has to adopt the same standardized protocol, and the old systems have to be able to talk to the new decentralized ledger. That kind of system-wide integration, it takes years of coordination.
And probably a push from regulators.
And a regulatory push.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a fantastic point. But regulatory drivers, like putting QR codes on API labels for universal traceability, it sounds like that will keep pushing this technology forward regardless of that initial friction.
It has to. The risk is too great otherwise.
Let's shift focus now to the final legs of the journey. Efficient inventory management in the warehouse, and then monitoring those shipments once they leave. What does a smart warehouse actually look like?
A smart warehouse relies on the strategic integration of a few different technologies working together. You need two things: speed and visual accuracy.
Okay, let's start with speed. That brings us to RFID, right? Radio frequency identification.
Yes, RFID. This technology uses radio waves, so a system can read hundreds of tags simultaneously without needing a direct line of sight.
So you can do inventory on a huge pallet of goods in seconds without having to touch or scan each individual box.
Exactly. The operational gain is huge. It radically improves inventory accuracy to between 95 and 99%.
Which is a massive jump over manual methods.
A massive jump. And because it automates all that counting and data entry, sources show it can cut the labor costs for inventory processing by up to 30%.
But just relying on an invisible tag feels like it has some risks, and that's where machine vision systems come in.
Absolutely. Machine vision provides that visual verification. It uses high-res cameras and complex image processing algorithms.
Yeah. So it's not just counting, it's inspecting.
It's inspecting. It's used for quality control, confirming items are packaged correctly, checking for damage, even verifying untagged items based on their appearance. It makes sure the physical quality matches the digital record.
So the strategy isn't choosing RFID or machine vision.
No, it's combining them. You use RFID for the rapid bulk identification. It's all about speed and throughput. Then you use machine vision for the detailed inspection and quality control.
So you get the speed and the rigor.
Precisely. This allows the smart warehouse to maintain blistering throughput rates while also satisfying the zero-defect quality standards that Pharma requires.
Okay, so now we move outside the warehouse walls, onto the road and into the air, where shipments are most vulnerable. The motivation for this is, well, it's startling. The annual loss of more than $35 billion worth of pharmaceutical products in global supply chains.
$35 billion. That figure highlights a massive vulnerability. It comes from theft, spoilage, mismanagement.
And the old model of logistics was reactive, right?
Yeah.
You'd wait for a status update.
Right. You'd find out there was a problem after it was already too late. The Pharma 4.0 solution moves into proactive, AI-driven risk mitigation.
And a great example of this is the SkyCell and Microsoft collaboration with their K.AI chatbot assistant.
Exactly. K.AI, or Knowledge AI.
So how does K.AI fundamentally change the job of a logistics manager?
It completely removes the reliance on static reports. K.AI is actively analyzing information in real time, and it's pulling in data far beyond just location. It assesses risk based on temperature, handling conditions, and even external factors.
Like what kind of external factors?
Like a rapidly changing weather forecast on the flight path, or maybe civil unrest near a transit hub. It then recommends specific contextual actions before the product's integrity is ever compromised.
So it's not just reporting a problem, it's actively recommending the fix.
Yes, it's predictive risk management. For example, if a flight gets delayed by a storm, K.AI analyzes the remaining battery life on the cold chain container, the ambient temperature at the new airport, and it recommends the best place to stage it or to get a proactive power recharge, all within minutes.
And the sources really emphasize that K.AI's integration with common tools like Microsoft Teams is the critical element. Why is that centralized communication so important?
Because time is the enemy when a product's integrity is on the line. By putting this context-aware information directly into the communication channel teams, they eliminate that whole problem of waiting for reports or chasing down temperature logs.
It bridges the gap between different teams.
It does. The people managing the shipment get instant, actionable insights. That means faster, better-informed decisions during those time-sensitive disruptions.
So after all this, what does this all mean for the pharmaceutical landscape today?
It means that the digital transformation is really past that initial theoretical phase. We've seen these three major areas of impact come together to create a powerful competitive advantage.
So to summarize, first, manufacturing efficiency through AI.
Dramatically enhanced, yes. Then, solidified supply chain security through blockchain and smart contracts.
And finally, that improved logistics accuracy and resilience using the combination of RFID, machine vision, and proactive AI like K.AI.
It all comes together.
The journey requires serious capital, serious organizational planning. But the competitive advantage, and maybe more importantly, the resilience for the early adopters, it's just undeniable when you look at those massive figures on loss and downtime.
Absolutely. And the sources strongly reinforce that the path forward requires a thoughtful, phased implementation. You can't do it all at once.
So start with the highest value assets first.
Exactly. Demonstrate a quick return on investment, build expertise internally. The companies that are successfully navigating this transformation are creating operations that aren't just cheaper, but are fundamentally more resilient to all kinds of global pressures.
This digital transformation, though, It goes beyond even these applications we've dissected. The future is moving even faster, so I want to leave you, our listener, with a final thought to mull over.
Hmm.
Considering all this integration and data analysis we've discussed, how will the implementation of digital twin technology, which can model an entire facility and all its processes in a virtual environment for simulation, and the rise of advanced generative AI systems that can autonomously recommend entirely new optimal procedures, how will those things further revolutionize pharmaceutical operations in, say, the next 5 years? It's a journey that is truly only just beginning.